Epilogue. 1 month later. My name is Dark Sparrow, and I give a shit about my friends, who are my family. Marcus has been doing much better since reuniting with his son, Hope. Living on their 80-acre property, Hope has found himself home where he always belonged, enjoying a feast with Elizabeth's children and grandchildren. He is currently teaching a class of 50 students, including me and Dr. Tracy Genelan. Topaz Dragons Martial Arts Alliance is a diverse martial arts academy sanctioned by Nankin Emergency Volunteers and other U.S. governing bodies. I have always done my training by myself and incorrectly. I am getting the proper training. I didn't realize how little I knew, especially about breaking my falls. Thankfully, I am not a paraplegic. Even Dr. Genelan knew quite a lot of skills for how to break your fall. I wonder if that is why she has such good posture. Speaking of Dr. Genelan, 48 of the 55 children are now reconnected with their families thanks to her. Unfortunately, animosity still shows between douchebag parents who are expecting ridiculous amounts of compensation money instead of focusing on their children. Currently, the last 7 of the children have their independence. They live in 2 of the 20 apartments that Eric Fitzgerald donated. Speaking of Fitzgerald, who took his identity? I guess I don't care, because I did get my share bounty, $5 million, as my negotiations were successful. Maxwell and I are doing well. On Thursday nights we go to a couples group together that serves excellent coffee. Kidding. It is a therapy group assisting in the transition for step-parents who are to meet their partner's children. Jane calls it progress, calling me mommy every time someone wants an autograph or to take a selfie with me. I have come out of my shell now that I am a local hero. We are dressing up for Halloween at Gwenvale Children's Hospital, and will also take a family photo for Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, Dr. Axel Chase and his family are engineering cool decorations for Gwenvale Children's Hospital. Sure, it's July, but we've got to get in early. The Chases bought a new home, and they continue to rummage through South Nankin City's crater, recycling what was lost. Dr. Chase has even started to build a robot that he controls from inside the chest cavity. He said it's only 30 feet tall. His video about it currently has over 100 million views, and now he makes over $40,000 per month from patrons who donate to his pledge. Not that NEV needs this kind of creation, unless it's an easier way to get a cat out of a tree. The Marino family also lost their home in the explosion, so while their new home is being built, Desmond has welcomed them to live in Emerald, the land of peace. David plays with children of various animal-like races, mostly something monster folk. After Ziz dropped a few feathers into the Tyson River, Alyssa Marino came back to life. The Marino family also lost their home in the explosion, so while their new home is being built, Desmond has welcomed them to live in Emerald, the land of peace. David plays with children of various animal-like races, mostly something monster folk. After Ziz dropped a few feathers into the Tyson River, Alyssa Marino came back to life. Alyssa lives permanently in Emerald and recently enrolled a student at Amethyst University. Alyssa only knows level 1 spells in each discipline. Divinity heals paper cuts, sorcery repairs small objects such as a shattered cell phone screen, and psionics allow for X-ray vision, revealing concealed weapons. I guess it would shock people to see her as a resurrected zombie, having come back to life after her cremation. Meanwhile, Grandpa Mervyn Marino has become best friends with Desmond and Edward the cat. Last week they made a lot of alcohol, enabling me to own a collection wider than my local Cornerstone. When not helping NEV or going on quests for Amethyst University, Troy Marino can be found training on planet Siona with Major Brett Thorne, who is Arlo Sergio, much to my surprise. Using alien technology, they both train inside a bunker at 3 times Earth's gravity. Troy explained that Super Mystic Arlo can train at 4 times Earth's gravity, even while performing basic gymnastics. I wonder which of the two would win in a fight. Super Mystic Arlo versus Troy the Troyster Marino. Only 2 more years of probation and Troy can make his MMA comeback. I have free passage to travel to Albak and take on more quests, especially after arresting Cameron Banks, even though technically Troy did kill him. Trinity and I work together, but I won't merge with her. Arlo is clearly the hero that Nankin City needed to contain the supernatural occurrences last month, seeing as what happened was an unforeseen incident. Arlo made me a hero throughout the Sarina Gemfields, and he used as his feather to resurrect Vedic Jones and heal my half-sister Madison. I thank him for looking out for my family after all these years. Madison and I are now close, although seeing Arlo pretend to be my sister Scarlett is a little creepy. Is it creepier that we go clothes shopping together to fill the missing voids in our lives? Vedic has stepped down as queen since all her mana nodes were removed from her body. Formerly known as Judge Vedic Jones, she has also restarted her journey as a student at Amethyst University. I have one question for Arlo that is bothering me. What did he do with the other 2 feathers? On July 28, Mayor Jefferson and Peter Richardson walked through Genelan Wing toward Room 1. Dr. Tracy Genelan stepped into Room 6. The label read, Nigel Giovanni. Janet Munson was inside, sitting on her soft bed. What to do with you? Peter Richardson sighed. Get me out of here. Hope has returned, Janet pleaded desperately. Did you know, Janet, that there are 4 types of narcissists? Peter Richardson stared, expressionless. I am not a narcissist. Everyone helping Marcus is a narcissist because they deny me access to hope, Janet yelled irately. An overt narcissist is what you became through your video blogs, showing that you are desperate to make people see what you want them to see, objectifying Neve and Troy Marino, Peter Richardson explained, showing no expression. A covert narcissist is what you became to remain off the radar until you placed Hope in danger, trying to make Marcus look like a raging bull. Not to mention how you even made Hope so fearful of Nigel that when he kicked his teeth in, you immediately blamed Marcus for teaching Hope self-defense. Defection is a common tool. It reminds me of the original serpent, you snake in the grass, Peter Richardson said mockingly. Janet lowered her head, trying not to interact, as Peter Richardson got into her face and growled. The seductive narcissist is not always sexual. This type is more commonly seen in network marketing. Friends helping friends is just a way to get others to buy a product, placing yourself at the top. However, network marketing has helped more people achieve financial freedom. If only you were not so quick to judge those trying to make an honest living. You're always hot and cold, complimenting simple minds with admiration, then ready to throw the person into the loony bin just like you did to your brother. 8 loony bin victims and 10 suicides, including your 2 husbands after Marcus walked away, shattered, in the dense rain. You see, Janet, in a way I know your victims better than you ever did, Peter Richardson mocked darkly, sounding like her father. Janet rubbed her arms that were covered in goosebumps. She was trembling. Peter Richardson taunted Janet telepathically. The vindictive narcissist is the worst kind, stopping at nothing to get what they want. Once you lose control of your victim, you change the way others view them. These narcissists are commonly our chief executive officers and political leaders and the main parent who has full custody, leading the next generation straight into hellfire, doing the devil's work. Gaslighting is the narcissist's primary weapon. If only the other 90% of society were able to disarm that weapon. So, tell me, level 10 keyboard warrior, what kind of narcissist are you? Janet Munson screamed, pressing her fingers into her temples. How are you able to do this? If you want to kill me, then hurry up and do it. I am not a murderer or a sadistic mastermind. Get out of my head, Janet cried, stimming her fingers against both sides of her head as her sharp fingernails drew blood. Mastermind is an outdated term just like subnormal is an outdated, vague mental health term. I sense true evil inside your tongue that would make you an awesome sorcerer. You might even surpass the Turner legacy. Peter Richardson smirked. Stop it. How can you allow this, Jefferson? You're supposed to be the mayor protecting me. Or at least let me have an attorney present. Are you listening to the way he is talking to me? Peter Richardson and Maya Jefferson ended the psionic fission, becoming whole, finally revealing themselves as Arlo Sergio. First-person perspective is a lot like karma. It is both reliable and unreliable. Your perspective is unreliable because of your backward thinking. I am reliable, quite literally walking in the shoes of your victims, proving that even Eric Fitzgerald can turn good. That part is a lie. Despite these facts, I can see 1% good inside you, just like the symbol for yin and yang. It takes placing a narcissist into the place of darkness so that they either kill themselves or beg for a padded room where they receive injections 4 times a day. Or perhaps a small ray of hope may reveal a truly good person hidden deep inside, willing to change your sinful ways. You are going to be my little social experiment to prove a point, on which I've wagered with my adopted daughter Trinity, that not all narcissists go to hell. Arlo snickered. Whispering in tongues, he snapped his fingers. Janet was unable to talk. Arlo changed between personae, speaking in a monologue to Janet and observing her reactions as he walked around her padded room. I had a speech prepared for this very occasion. Life is boring being mayor when the city has no one to oppose me, Mayor Jefferson explained, placing his palm against his chest. I will oppose you, Jefferson. Why not, when I am the richest millionaire in town? Eric Fitzgerald flicked his fingers through a thick bundle of money. Ho, but Granddaddy, I need a new pair of shoes to match this charity ball dress. I guess there is no word fabulous enough for my perfection, Maggie said in a Texas accent, tap dancing in one spot, shaking her hips. She was wearing a cowgirl's outfit. Luckily, I read Dr. Tracy Jennelan's pamphlets, though killing Maggie last week was so satisfying. She died just like that old lady. Principal Childers beamed, satisfied. Died from fear of our true ugly selves. You and I are so ugly that our brains would be a breakthrough for science. Mayor Jefferson's mother pointed a finger at each side of her head, suggesting bullets being shot through her brain. Me sorry for their me slime, but once me teach you how to control your mana, the slime won't be a problem. I have a bodyguard to look over you. Roberto the bartender smiled, revealing his gingivitis teeth. Major Brett Thorne, your neighbor in apartment 2006. You know, the man who saved Hope from, you? Fair warning, I am not going to kill you unless you betray me. It will then become a battle of the minds, creating a war inside your head and bursting blood vessels. Major Thorne formally bowed. With my intelligence I will make you my science prodigy. You see, in the next game patch, there is a character based on you, the common bitch, whom everyone can relate to killing. Scott Chase scribed into his notepad. I remember you, freak. You're the reason my grandson was taken away to be interrogated. Did you know that over 70% of children under the age of 5 are diagnosed with depression, more commonly in cases where gaslighting is involved directly with a child's subconscious? Grandpa Mervyn glared. Hi, I am Anna Chase, Scott's hot mom. We are both 40 now. Remember when we both fought for prom queen? Then my best friend, Alyssa, got all the attention, winning the prom queen title. I guess I had a successful second attempt once I became Barbara Cunningham. I was the queen bee at Gwenvale High 7 years ago. Now I am 22 years old. My girlfriends and I have a slumber party, every week. At my apartment, room 2002, she said, giggling foolishly. Janet, when you drop Hope off, is it healthy to be separated? Hope will be fine without you for an hour. What did his father say? Don't freak out on me, Janet. I was not murdered. Cancer got me 6 years ago. If you remain a narcissist, he will kill you and turn your life around until he gets bored of pretending to be you after faking your death. Wendy burst into laughter. What did I tell you about codependency? Step back and allow children to be who they are meant to be, Peter Richardson said lovingly. I haven't got anything to say. I just feel very left out of the conversation with 50 personalities taking the spotlight. Gaylord smiled, revealing his braces. They call me Dodge. If only you were a man like me, sweetheart, I would give you a dance. Unlike some, I have the decency to tuck away my testicles. FBI agent Harvey Gregson, keen to talk to you all night long. Not that Cameron gave me a chance to talk when meeting Dark Sparrow. Cameron resides next door inside Cell 2, after receiving 10 life sentences and counting. Here is a drink for you, Janet Munson. A toast to a new covenant, my appointed apprentice. It's not your usual tea party set but an expensive taste from a chalice crafted from the original cleric who has also enrolled as a new student at Amethyst University, where you will be going one day. Scarlett Jonkers handed Janet the chalice, grinning darkly. Janet looked at the chalice contents bubbling vigorously. Drink up. Arlo snickered. Janet spat out the wine after taking a sip. Blood. Why can't I talk? Janet Munson fanatically screamed, making no sound. You are now sired to me. Like with vampires, sorcery comes from our blood or is inherited at birth. You are also a cleric because you tasted from the chalice. Now you are a mystic. Only one thing remains, and that is to see if you are psionic positive, Arlo said as he spoke in the Psiongan tongue. Janet Munson suddenly saw herself tied by thick leather restraints and lying on an operating table. Cords were attached, sending brain fluid from a Psiongan directly to her brain. Hurry up and kill me, Janet Munson finally managed to say, screaming for help. Ho, you're not taking the easy way out. Electroconvulsive therapy is the only way to become a Psion. Next year I will show off my newest apprentice. When I use the power of psionic fission, I become 2, then 4, then 8 separate people. I am in 8 different places keeping an eye on you, testing your social skills. Heck, I kept a close eye on you once while playing as an entire women's netball team. May have been 3rd last place champions, but that's beside the point when I am keeping an eye on you. Oh, this is going to seriously hurt and may cause major memory loss as I fuse blue mana nodes to your brain. Arlo growled sadistically.